Welcome to Snark Marks, everybody. We're a very funny podcast out of Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Follow us on all the stuff at Snark Marks Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Dusty's at SnarkMarkD on Twitter, and I am at Andrew Idell on Instagram. I've been stumbling through those, and I feel like I nailed that one.
Dude, that was really smooth. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like the YouTube videos.
It's almost like you work in a profession that requires you to talk into a microphone.
It's almost as if I am a professional broadcaster. Thank you. I appreciate that. Speaking of professional broadcasting,
the radio station burned down.
I missed the first hour of my radio show today.
Now, we've been friends a long time.
Yeah.
I say this with all the love and affection of a longtime friend.
Hell yeah.
I don't think this has happened to you in a while. Although this is a thing that used to happen to you quite a bit. Not missing the radio show, just your body won't get up at the time that you wanted to get up. I've
gotten the job that allows me, I can basically get there whenever I want as long as my show's ready, right?
Right.
And then I just do all of the rest of my stuff throughout the day. I stayed up pretty late last night. Had a couple adult beverages. Okay, not a lot of them, but a couple of them. You know,
it's spooky season. I get it.
Got a little loose. You know, met the ghosts, but I was drinking Modelo. But I don't know if I set my alarm. I either set my alarm and was like, because I used the A word. I don't want to say her name because she'll start talking, but I used the A word. And I was like, I can turn off my alarm by saying, A word, stop.
Right.
It's too easy. It's too easy to turn the alarm off.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that I set my alarm last night, turned off the A word this morning. And usually I go, A word, stop, A word, wake me up in 15 minutes, something like that. That's my snooze. But this morning, I'm thinking what I did was last night I didn't set my alarm because I had one of those mornings where, and this is what happens every time this happens. I wake up and I go, man, it's kind of light outside. I have to pee. So I go pee and I'm like, I can't believe my alarm hasn't gone off yet. I must have I can go right back to sleep. Never check why would I check my clock?
Why would I want to see where the sun is in the sky relative to the time that it is?
Because it could be time to get up.
Right.
I don't want that to be.
No, that's a all-time L when that happens.
Yeah. So I go back to sleep. My radio show starts at 10. I open my eyes at one point and I go, okay.
now you know
something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I
no longer willfully ignore and hope.
I also hear, I think I was woken up because my phone was vibrating and then it stopped vibrating and then it started vibrating again. So I'm like, okay, somebody's blowing me up. And I went, hey, word, what time is it? And she goes, it's 10:46 a.m. And I went, oh, shit. So I reach over and I grab my phone and my dad's calling me. It got all the way to Ricky.
They must have had, that's like 3 levels of security to get to Rick.
Bro.
You gotta wind your way. Like I'm probably, what am I away?
They probably call you next.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what am I away? I guess I'm 2 phone call. I'm 1 degree of separation from Rick. You get
hit up when I'm on my way to the hospital or they find my body. Right.
Right. I'm just saying,
if I needed closer, it'd be earlier.
If I needed to get a hold of you and I couldn't, and I needed to get a hold of Rick to get a hold of you for some reason, I think I'm one stage of separation away.
Yeah.
But I'm close.
Yeah.
I'm in the inner circle.
So I answer the phone and he goes, what's going on? And I was like, I slept through my alarm, and he goes, dude, Andrew, Alyssa, your sister's on the way to your apartment right now.
Yeah. Well,
everybody thought I was dead. There's a group chat where I'm looking at it. It's all 3 of my siblings, and they're like, something's wrong. Andrew didn't turn in his show, and she's like, I'm going over there right now. She apparently was talking to my other sister, prepping herself to find my body.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mary, God rest her soul. I mean, she's alive, but God bless her. She had to do a presentation for a bunch of elementary school kids because about college and what she did in her career and stuff. She had 3 presentations to do today. And in between presentations, she's trying to get Andrew updates because her boyfriend might have died. And yeah. And my boss texted me and called me. My programming director texted me and called me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I really did it this time.
Having people who love you is rough.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Let me sleep.
I'm clearly very tired. Well, and you're feeble. So they're worried about you.
No, I am a ticking time bomb. So they were sure that it finally happened. They were coming over here to divide up my assets. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, what they don't know is that I get all the baseball stuff.
Yeah.
You
and want the baseball stuff, you can have it, dog.
And your cat.
Yeah, so, you'll have to sumo wrestle Ricky for the cat. That's in the will.
Oh, he can have the cat then.
You guys just circle each other.
Yeah. It's I have
whoever ends up with the cat is gonna want eventually be like hit up the other one and be like, hey, you know what? I had a change of heart. I feel like Andrew really wanted you to have this cat. Meanwhile, you're just sick of all your lamps getting knocked over constantly.
Yeah, it's a shared custody situation for sure. My phone once broke. I had it and I dropped it right on the edge, and the Android phone that I had at that time, that was apparently like they dipped it in the river Styx. Yeah, they dipped it in the river Styx, except that one part, because you have to hold that part out. I don't ever understand why they didn't flip him. In the story, they never explained why she couldn't just do like a rotation. And then I guess the point of the story, because it's not real, is about
he needs a weak point, dog.
Yeah,
if you flip him, it starts to come off again, and then you're touching him again when you dip him again. And
right, or the river knows somehow. No, already
one dip. I'm one dip river.
So anyway, it shatters the screen.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, and so I called, and I had insurance on the phone, and they're like, cool, you pay the deductible, we'll send you a phone in like 2 days. And I'm like, okay. And I was on vacation that week from work, so no one's seen me. And I can hear that I'm receiving various text messages throughout these 2 days, but I can't reply to. I have no way to reply to them. And I had thought to myself, well, I should probably drive to my friend's house and just check in and let them know, hey, my phone's broken, but I'm okay.
I'm alive. Yeah.
Right. But then the negative voice in my head was like, what an asshole you would be if you went, what a narcissistic move to be like, hey, you probably won't hear from me for a couple days. You won't get any cool memes or anything. Don't worry, I'm not dead. My phone's just broken.
Yeah.
I was so concerned about being roasted at the prospect of someone carrying it.
You probably got a text from me that said you finally grew a pair and did it, didn't you?
Yeah. I was so concerned at the prospect of being roasted that I chose instead to
worry all the people who love you.
Yeah, to worry everyone who loved me. And then there was because getting roasted when you're being vulnerable, the worst kind of roasting.
Tough.
If I go to my friend and I say, hey, just so you know, in case you were frightened or concerned about me.
Do I go into attack mode when people do that to me?
Yeah. And I think I had a legitimate reason. Hey, my phone is broken. I have no way to contact anyone. But I'm doing the check-in. What makes you think that you're so important that you would be on my mind? And so I could see all the roasts coming my way, because I would do the same thing to my friend. Because just showing my friend I care about them, who would do that to their close friend? No.
Yeah, that's
psychopaths. Yeah, can't do that. So the end of that story is on Saturday. There was like a group thing, like a birthday party or something, and I showed up to that birthday party, and my friend went, hey, I'm glad that you're here, because I've been texting you, and if you hadn't come to this, I would have went to your house.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I thought about going and checking in with you, but then I got scared that you'd make fun of me for that. And he was like, man, there's just something really broken up there, isn't there? Yeah.
I'm a fractured human being.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about, like, if I hadn't woke up, like if I waited 5 or 10 more minutes to wake up, my sister has a key to my apartment. She would have just walked in and saw me just fast asleep with my cat. That's like, what's up? What's going on?
And probably mad at you. It's one of those things where, like, the person is mad at you, even though you haven't done anything knowingly. You've just worried them, and then one of the only ways that can manifest itself is yelling at you for not being awake.
I compared it to What About Bob, when Bob's asleep and it's the morning of the Good Morning America interview that Dr. Marvin has to do. And he's trying to wake Bob up, and he's got his knee on his back, and he's like bouncing up and down, and Bob is just fast asleep.
Yeah.
And he's yelling, "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" and trying to wake him up. And then he finally stops trying to wake him up, and his alarm goes off, and he wakes up super peacefully and looks over. That's basically what it was. And then I ended up, it was like, so I told you, like 10:45 when I woke up. I had to tell everybody I was alive and do a press conference. And then I was like, I'm going to make my second hour of my show. So because I can do my show from the house. So I just came over here and sat down literally in my underwear and like bags under my eyes, like all fucked up. And I was like, Press 957, this is Andrew Idell, everybody. I slept in. I'm well rested for this Friday afternoon or whatever I said.
I just imagine, like, I mean, I suppose it's only a funny thought because it didn't happen or because of its absurdness. I like to qualify why something might be funny. It makes it funnier.
It's funny if I died, so.
No. Like, if you woke up and you just rolled out and you were like, oh shit, I got to start the second hour of my show. But like a 9/11 level disaster had happened and you were completely unaware, and you get on the radio and you're like, anyway, coming up, we've got Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart.
Yeah, McDonald's put out a Big Mac with chicken.
Yeah, and
you guys know that.
And the man, really a lot of activity on the boards this morning.
Yeah, there's zombies out my door right here.
Like did you ever see Shaun of the Dead?
No.
Okay, there's a scene in Shaun of the Dead where it's actually brilliant. It's brilliant filmmaking. The scene is Shaun goes from his apartment or to like the local bodega and back, and he's just wiping sleep from his eyes and he's not paying attention to anything, and all this stuff is happening around him that nearly kills him, right? And then he goes home, and then the next day the zombie apocalypse happens, but from his perspective they do the exact same shots except now it's zombies, and he still is oblivious to the fact that they're around, right? So that's what it is. Yeah, if there's like that's all I could think of is you're just throwing to songs.
Well, yeah. I used to record my show like a couple days in advance.
Yeah.
And I was always worried that something big would happen. And like I did one time, this isn't big at all, but I did one about like, are you ready for UFC whatever this weekend? Nate Diaz, man, he's fighting so-and-so, all that shit. And the fight got canceled.
Immediately
so
ages
Yeah, I had to like re-record it and like send it and be like, please replace track 6 with this.
That's because everything relates to wrestling. I have a wrestling related thing later that we can talk about. Wrestling adjacent, not particularly wrestling, but there was once the debut of a sort of terrorist group. That's what they were coded. They weren't called terrorists, but we
call them the terrorists, huh?
Right. But you could definitely tell. And they like attacked the Undertaker, beat the shit out of him, right? And then like that was pre-recorded, supposed to air on Friday. The London subway bombings happened on Tuesday, and they're like, whoa. Yeah. But they didn't have time to fix it, so it just aired anyway.
Guess we got to repackage the insurgents.
Yeah. Well, they killed off, like, literally the only time they've ever, like, quote unquote killed off a character. They killed off the antagonist in that storyline like 3 weeks later because the television station was like, hey, guess who can't be on the show anymore?
The insurgents.
Yeah. A guy whose name is Muhammad Hassan, not on the show anymore. Yeah, so I came across something the other day. I was very excited. I had never seen this. You're familiar with Planet Hollywood, Hard Rock Cafe, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in?
I went to a Hard Rock Cafe in Atlanta, and there was a suit that George Harrison once wore.
Okay.
And I was like 16 or 17, and I couldn't even eat. I was just staring at it.
Yeah.
There was a Biggie Smalls suit in there, and I think, who fucking cares? There's a Neil Peart drum set. I don't give a shit. Yeah. George Harrison wore that. His balls were right there.
Yeah, the guy who wrote what is it?
Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah. What's the name of his first solo album? Something.
All Things Must Pass.
The guy who wrote the triple album, All Things Must Pass. He just had all those songs back pocketed. That I went to a Hard Rock Cafe in Seattle, I think, and they had like all the grunge shit when I was like 16, and I was like, Kurt Cobain played this guitar, not realizing like, oh, there's a ton of that shit everywhere. That guitar is not inherently that special.
Still cool though.
It's still cool, yeah. In Las Vegas, they used to have the WCW Nitro Grill.
Did they feature that on the show?
No, they used to feature what was called Nitro Parties.
Okay,
but I guess
it was WWE had something.
They had the WWF New York.
Yeah, where it'd be like, here's fucking what's the guy's name that was my profile picture for a long time?
Todd Pettengill?
No, I can't remember. Go ahead. Continue. I'm not going to remember his name.
Somebody posted the other day on Twitter the menu from WCW Nitro Grill.
Oh, okay.
And I have to tell you, like, I like that they went this way. Because if you're going to do it, why not do it? You know, like, you have to do punny names, I think.
Go full hokey, dude.
Yeah. Like, what is it if it's not... Yeah, if you're going to the WCW Nitro Grill, you're going to... This is really where I'm supposed to expect Michelin star level food. Yeah. No, I want the Starcade Caesar salad.
That's not even a pun.
No, it's just it's a really big Caesar salad, possibly.
And it's disappointing, and it ruins your business.
Yeah, the Slam and Steak salad.
Okay.
Choco.
Is this a salad place? Is that
no. This is just the Nature Boy soups and salad portion of the menu. I am a rock star.
Because I am a rock star.
What about the choco?
People don't appreciate that as much as they should when I post it.
The chokehold chili, that do anything for you?
It's fine. It should have been the Bronco Buster.
Yeah,
chili, but
the bone jarring soup of the day. Now that might be a bridge too far for me.
What's the bone jarring soup du jour? It's the bone jarring soup of the day.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll have that.
The gut buster, doesn't that sound appetizing?
That should be the chili.
Yeah. Choke slam cheese fries. Come on, man, do a little bit for me. Like, I do like the Macho Man nachos. I feel like that's probably something that I would get from the.
You don't even go Nacho Man, huh?
No.
I guess I'm actually kind of glad they didn't go Nacho Man.
But for the main event, they don't. There's smothered chicken, the Nelson's famous ribs, the half Nelson and kickin' chicken.
Jesus Christ.
The figure 4 fajitas. I'm sorry. I love this place. You know what's the best thing here? You got to get the figure 4 fajitas.
You can't get out of it.
No. It locks you up, dude.
It locks you up, dude. You flip those things upside down, they hurt more.
Then they have, I don't like this. I guess because WCW was called Where the Big Boys Play, which is not a great thing. But they have
sexy.
3 grilled chicken breasts and 2 baked potatoes is called the Bodybuilder, and in parentheses, Big Boy's favorite. I don't like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
See, that's my problem. I've talked about this. If something has a stupid enough name, I'm not going to order it. I'm not going to order the extra most bestest pizza at Little Caesars. I would have a hard time with any of these.
What about from the?
Can I get the nachos? Do you mean the Macho Man nachos? No, I mean can I just get the nachos? I'll point at them if you want me to.
I'm gonna need to hear you.
Yeah, it's actually company policy. Okay, I'm going to fucking Bennigan's.
Yeah, you think on the Strip this is my only option?
Yeah. We're in Vegas.
What about something from the Suplex seafood options?
See, why is the soup menu not Suplex? What's going on?
Yeah, they really needed a second pass. The Superplex salmon fillet.
They're just adding names.
Yeah.
The alliteration.
Yeah.
This isn't even puns.
The Backbreaker beer battered shrimp.
That's a lot of bees.
That's a lot of bees.
Why don't you go to the baby backbreaker ribs?
Right.
What's going
This
on
is
here?
look. It writes itself. Is all I'm saying.
I think Bischoff wrote this.
Yeah. The you could also go with the power plant pasta. They just have
that.
They just have something called Jimmy Hart's pasta. Just pasta Jimmy Hart likes.
Man, I like Jimmy Hart. I'm gonna get the Jimmy Hart pasta.
Yeah, you have to do Pal Driver pasta. What? Why wouldn't you?
It's right there. This is the equivalent of like they're putting out like video game coffee where it's like this coffee is Mass Effect, and it's like, no, it's not.
Right.
Like you don't.
Yeah.
You don't play this coffee. You're not in space for this coffee. Like, it's just shameless branding. By the way, who is this?
Oh, that's Lodi.
Lodi. I kept forgetting his name. That's who I was talking about earlier. Lodi.
Also,
it's an iconic picture.
I feel like somebody was having fun with this menu, and then they got to the burger menu, and they did exactly what you said, which is just like, there's the Sting burger. Why is it the Sting burger? No reason.
Is there a Booty Man burger?
No, there's a Hogan burger.
Jesus Christ.
And then there's the best one, the Gold burger. Like, you know.
Oh, because Goldberg.
Because Goldberg.
I went straight to Gold Dust. I was like, no, it's not a good one.
The Goldberg.
Goldberger works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More.
The one that ages poorly. The
Benoit.
Yeah, the Benoit Bennigans or the Benoit beignets are no good. The Crippler crossface cheesesteak.
Oh, yep, it is Benoit.
Yeah. Well, and that annoys me so much because like all those C's are like different sounding C's, so it's not even really good alliteration.
The Crippler crawfish.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Dude, give me something, man. The Cajun crossfish or the Cajun crawfish. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cajun crossface.
Exactly. That's So I found out. I did some more research. The funniest thing to me about the Nitro Grill is the WCW Nitro Grill was completed.
The Mango McMichael. It's a drink.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. Cost $2 million to build this this restaurant. Right. It opened May 22nd, 1999.
Oh no. It's never good. It's never good. This isn't going to be, and it's still open today.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I bet that this restaurant was conceived whenever WCW Monday Nitro was winning the Monday
during
Night.
those 83 weeks.
During those 83 weeks. But it takes a long time to build a building.
You expect to lose your ass the first 2 years. Everybody says that.
Yeah. By 1999, WCW stinks.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Oh, yeah.
Closed September 30th, 2000.
Oh, so it made it like a year and change.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
they did not make their money back.
No. And it was WWE was sold, or WCW was sold to WWE March 2001. So May 1999.
Vince was like, "Do we get the grill?" They're like, "No, the grill's gone."
Yeah,
God damn it! I wanted the grill.
There were tentative plans to open Nitro Grills across the United States, but you know what they say: the best laid plans.
That is a strong tentative. Like that word's doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned, "Hey, we could do this everywhere," and somebody was like, "No, our show stinks, right?"
Well, so
it wasn't good when it was good. You know that, right? When it was good, it was bad.
They used to hold Monday Nitro watch parties at the Nitro Grill. So I just looked up just for the fun of it.
Just the cast of characters at one of those.
The very first Monday Nitro that you could watch at Nitro Grill, May 22nd, 1999.
On the debut, the day that it opened.
Yeah.
The day after it opened or something like that.
You could watch Van Hammer defeat Chavo Guerrero in 3 minutes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. David Flair defeat El Dandy in 1 minute. A cruiserweight battle royal that went 8 minutes.
Who won it?
Went to a no contest.
Oh, fuck. Dude, that is so fucking Nitro, bro. That's the most Nitro shit of all time.
Yeah, you could order the Crippler Crossface cheesesteak and see Chris Benoit defeat Buddy Lee Parker in 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
At least you got to see Benoit.
Yep. Booker T defeats Rick Steiner.
Oh man!
By disqualification.
Rick Steiner's face. Dude, Rick Steiner's face is always in the doo-doo.
Yeah.
We talked about this. It's always disqualification. He always loses.
4 minutes, 49 seconds.
I wonder what Booker T did.
Hugh Morris versus Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
No contest.
This is just, I'm getting PTSD flashbacks.
And
remember the shenanigators, the shenanigan list that we did?
Yep. The main event. Main event, Andrew. First Nitro.
Yeah.
Bam Bam Bigelow, Diamond Dallas Page, and Ric Flair defeated Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and Rowdy Piper.
Double duty for
Benoit, yeah. By disqualification.
Not the last time
no.
he pulled double duty.
Disqualification. 5 minutes, 52 seconds.
That's just fucking what they did, bro. That's just how it works. Can we just get a fucking pin somewhere?
Could you imagine? I don't know that there's enough liquor. Like, could you get drunk enough to where you would have... I guess you could get drunk enough to where you could have a good time. That is a terrible wrestling show.
It is ass. Certified ass.
I don't know how you come back. So it also got me thinking about the Planet Hollywood, because Planet Hollywood has long been.
I've been to one of those too.
Yeah,
I remember, but I know I went to one.
I heard that they stink. They opened like 100 locations at one point. They have 4 left.
There's 4 left?
There's one at LAX that you could see next time you go to LAX.
Damn, I go there a lot. I've never seen that shit.
Yeah, it's now they don't have punny names for their menu items.
They're classy. It's a classy establishment.
I think that's a missed opportunity.
Listen, bro, it's not going to make more people go. It's just going to make people like me go, let's go somewhere else. Let's go somewhere that takes themselves seriously. I don't need the Terminator asparagus plate. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny that you should say that, because I came up with some names for some menu items.
The Terminator tater tots.
The Terminator tater tots. The I'll be baby back ribs.
All right.
Yep. I'm not saying they're good.
What's I'll be back. Okay,
yeah.
I'll be baby back. Yeah.
There's a movie with Bruce Willis, a infester from Planet Hollywood, called Hudson Hawk. So you could get the Hudson Tomahawk steak.
Okay.
Right?
Jesus Christ. How much time did you put into this?
I don't know. 6 hours, 7 hours. The There Will Be Blood sausage.
There will be blood pudding.
There will be blood pudding. You could do either one. Yeah. The Joe versus the chocolate volcano cake.
Fucking. Why do I do this podcast?
Because you need. All right. I feel good about. I feel good about these last 2 though.
I like all of them. I like all of them. It just hurts.
I'm gonna give you 3 more.
All right.
The Big Chill E. Right? It's Big Chili.
Would you what would you recommend? I would recommend The Big Chill E. I really like that movie, and
yeah. That's the Last Action Hero sandwich.
Okay. All right.
I think that works.
Yeah.
Think that works. And the cliffhanger steak.
I like
because there's a cut of steak you see.
Yeah.
Called hanger steak.
Yep. Mama tried.
Then I thought, yep. I thought of a couple of kitschy menu items. Cobra. It's just a cobra. Do you want to eat a cobra? And Cobra's the name
of a cobra. We got a bunch of cobras.
Cobra's the name of a Sylvester Stallone movie.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Crime is the disease, he's the cure. So
is that the line?
Yeah, that's the tagline. And then last but not least, every good restaurant worth its salt that I like to attend has an eating challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is inspired by the Steve McQueen film, The Great Escape. This is The Greatest Steak. Big steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big steak.
You have to eat a whole big steak.
Because it rhymes with The Great Escape.
Yeah.
What if you just served fried green tomatoes?
I think that's good too. Like sometimes it doesn't. You don't have to crack the. You don't have to crack the code. You know?
Big fish.
Yeah. It doesn't specify which kind of fish it is. We just got a big ass fish. That's. And then the water boy, of course, refills all your drinks.
Yeah.
You know,
he's in the football outfit.
Yeah,
I would go to that place. I would go to that place for sure.
Someone's trying the Great Escape. Someone's trying the Great Escape.
The greatest steak. The greatest steak has been taken down.
72 ounces. All right. And you have to eat it in the amount of time that it takes Steve McQueen to do that jump in the movie.
You can just get the Bubba, and it's just every kind of shrimp, and it costs like $4,000.
Well, there's because there is also Bubba Gumps is kind of in the same vein, but Bubba Gumps has, I think, I've only been once, but I think it has like kitschy.
I've been once. Well, I don't know if it has names. It's got like Forrest Gump decor all over the place. So.
Right.
It might have the names. I can't remember. But,
so anyway, that's
the work you did there. I appreciate the legwork.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing with the last 24 to 48 hours. I was trying to make one work.
Schindler's Bisque.
I was trying to make one work with Liver and Chianti, right, from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
But I legitimately Googled movies that have the word live in them.
Is there a movie called Sliver?
Oh, there is a movie called Sliver.
Sliver and Chianti.
That's I ate his can I get the sliver and onions, please?
Yeah, can I get the sliver and onions?
That's no look.
Table for Seven.
Yeah. I'm not saying that my restaurant would be more successful than Planet Hollywood proved to be, but I think people would have more fun. I
100% think that people would have more fun. Just a fucking circus.
Yeah. Oh man, I was gonna say you can. What if the greatest steaks challenge was you had to eat it before the movie ended? The movie's 172 minutes. That seems like too many minutes.
No, you got to pick like a part in the movie. You got to get it before this guy dies.
Yeah. Because that's like, for a competitive eater, I think that's way too much. Unless like it's the biggest steak on earth. I don't know how big you could make a competitive
like the size
steak.
Of a whole table.
Yeah. This is actually Steve McQueen size steak.
They're like, can I order the greatest steak? Actually, it's the table that you're sitting at right now.
Yeah.
You have your drink on.
You have to actually bring 32 other people with you. It's the only way to make it. The first time someone orders the greatest steak, our restaurant goes out of business because it's not financially viable to do that.
Yeah.
I just figured
how many cows died for this steak? We had to sew these fucking slabs together.
I'm losing money. I'm really.
There's only one cow ever lived to make a steak this big.
Yeah, the restaurant business.
4 years ago, we had to freeze dry this shit.
Restaurants are terrible to invest in. Please never do it.
You can't thaw and refreeze.
No.
You order the greatest steak. You eat the greatest steak.
And that's it plummets the GDP of Nevada. Someone orders the greatest steak.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I like it, dude. Thank you very much.
This is what my mind does when it needs something to do. So I
like your mind.
Yeah, I saw Nitro Grill. I saw something else that I needed to discuss with you briefly. I feel like we're possibly the authorities on this situation.
Okay. Yeah. We're the authorities on most situations.
On most situations, I agree. A IGN, who's a video game website, put up what they consider to be the 36 greatest Simpsons episodes of all time.
Okay. All right.
Gonna have to do it. I have the list here in case you need it.
I'm pulling it up.
Do you want to guess?
Number 1 is going to be Marge versus the monorail.
That's your belief?
That's my belief.
Okay. Do you want
Number 36, City of New York versus Homer Simpson. That's I listen. There's a lot of good Simpsons episodes.
Sure.
I don't know if there's 35 better than the City of New York versus Homer Simpson. It is almost a perfect episode of television.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to guess what the latest
Judge showed?
Do you want to guess what the latest season is to have an episode that's on this list?
Ooh, 13.
I'm looking just to make sure. Season 11.
Yeah.
From season 11, Alone Again, Natra Diddly.
Which one's that one?
I believe
what number is it?
It is number 24.
24.
I believe that is the one where Maude dies.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the T-shirt cannon.
But the writers found a great storyline to explore in Maude's tragic T-shirt cannon-induced death.
Yep.
Yep. All
right. All right. Just some quick ones from the top of the list. Bart sells his soul. That's a good episode. I remember the Milhouse playing with Bart's soul with his army men, and he's got the piece of paper and there's a tank rolling over it. That's good. Radioactive Man number 23. I think Radioactive Man's got to be higher on this list. Radioactive
Man. If only for the goggles do nothing.
Yeah. The real acid is
Remember, everybody, this is real acid. So real acid.
Itchy and Scratchy Land number 22. Again, a disrespect to possibly my favorite episode of The Simpsons.
It's tough. Like Lemon of Troy number 21 is a phenomenal episode. Homer's Enemy number 20, a phenomenal episode. I did sneak peek. I was right. Number 1, they listed Marge versus the Monorail, and I famously did not put that on my list.
You didn't. That's true. A Fish Called Selma's number 14. I hate every fish I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
That's on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is on that one. Homer at the Bat, number 13. I mean, they did a pretty good job with this list, I'd say. You Only Moved Twice is number 11. I'm surprised that's not top 10, but...
Bart of Darkness, that's the episode we were quoting the whole way to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Where Bart works at the burlesque house. And then...
Is your name Bart?
The Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie show. That's whenever Poochie's not on screen, everyone should be saying, "Where's Poochie?"
Didn't Poochie die on the way to his home planet?
No, he was gonna. They're going to the firework factory. Oh, he does. That's right.
That's how they kill Poochie off.
Yeah.
You can see when they animate it, they're just moving the cell up on the screen. They don't even animate the whole thing of him dying.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, wait. I believe I see an error. Bart of Darkness is listed at number 16 and at number 4.
What?
IGN, you idiots.
Treehouse of Horror 5 is number 4.
Oh, not on this not on the screenshot I have. Maybe they updated it.
You're having a stroke. Yeah, they probably fucked up.
The internet was misinformed.
Homer at the Bat was, what was it? 13. That's a good one. The Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie show. Deep Space Homer number 9. That's a good one.
Yeah,
let's
run the top 10 real quick.
Okay. Number 10 is Round Springfield. Is the episode where Bleeding Gums Murphy dies. I don't remember a lot of that episode. I remember that it's Bart. There's a in the box of Krusty-O's, the
the metal.
Oh, I think is that the Dr. Nick doing surgery, and he's like, the red thing's connected to the black thing. Oh, yeah. The black thing's connected to my wristwatch. That episode.
That might be.
There's a prize in Krusty-O's that is a metal Krusty-O with a bunch of shards on it.
Yeah.
And Bart eats it, and then Bart ends up in the hospital. That's how Lisa sees Bleeding Gums and finds out he was dying. I mean, that was one of the early on. What season is this? Season 6. So it's not that early, but it's still one of the early on, like super, like almost tear jerky episodes.
Yeah, well, because Bart, they sue, and they get Bart only gets $500, but he uses it. He gives it to Lisa so she can buy the Bleeding Gums Murphy album.
Yeah.
Because it's so rare. That's really this is the episode where Groundskeeper Willie describes the French as cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
It's a classic line.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think at the end of the episode, isn't he eating Crustios? And it's like now without flesh-eating bacteria or something, because Bart's trying to cash in again.
Yeah, I can't remember what it says, but yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that episode in at least 15 years.
Yeah. So I think that one's good. I went with
I don't know if it's top 10, but I'd have to rewatch it.
Deep Space Homer, obviously.
That's a freaking classic, man. Be careful, they're ruffled.
Or they're ridged, right?
No, he says they're ruffled.
Oh, okay.
He says they're ruffled. It's burned into my brain because when I was a kid, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, they're extra. So basically, for those who haven't seen it, Homer's in space, and he's just being Homer. He's being an ass in space, and he opens a bag of chips, and they start floating all over the place. And one of them yells, "They'll clog up the instruments." And then another astronaut is like guarding his face. He goes, "Be careful, they're ruffled." like them being ruffled makes them more dangerous.
And there's an ant farm that Homer runs into because they're in zero gravity, and Homer's going around eating the chips that are floating in zero gravity.
And they're playing the da 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 da. Blank, 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 blank. And what do the ants say when they escape? They're talking to each other.
We're free. And then something about freedom is terrible or something like that.
Or feudal. I can't remember what it says. Yeah.
It's really funny. Mr. Plow, that's a top 10 for sure. Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow. And then Barney becomes 100%. The Snow King.
The Plow King.
Or the Plow King.
It's like, one of the ants says, "Protect the Queen." And somebody's like, "Which one's the queen?" And the guy says, "I'm the queen." And they're like, "No, you're not." And then Homer hits the thing. Freedom, horrible, horrible freedom is what they say when they fly out.
Last Exit to Springfield. I don't know that I know what episode that is.
Last Exit to Springfield is dental. It's the dental plan episode. Lisa needs braces, dental plan. Homer becomes the union president for the power plant workers. And let me see. Oh, the spot-on spoof of Joker's debut in Batman '89 to Homer's appearance on Smartline to Mr. Burns' typing monkey room.
Okay.
There's some memorable gags, but I gotta see. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember that one that much. I remember Lisa needs braces, dental plan.
Is 22 short films about Springfield that's got to be the film festival episode, right?
The episode focused on everything from Kirk's quest to find Milhouse a bathroom, to Chief Wiggum's Pulp Fiction style mishaps, to Principal Skinner cooking steamed hams for Superintendent Chalmers.
Right, that's
to Nelson finally bullying the wrong guy. Oh, it's the guy who laughs at everybody. Let's point and laugh at him.
Is there something wrong with my car? Yeah, okay, so that's the Tarantino one where it's all little vignettes.
Yeah,
about stuff happening in Springfield. Okay. Lisa the Vegetarian. That one's really good. If a cow could, it would kill you and everyone you hold dear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that that's not the slurry one, is it?
No. That's the one where she becomes a vegetarian and then she meets Paul McCartney.
Paul and Linda McCartney. Yeah.
And it's I went to Bovine University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually talked about that the other day in a radio meeting about I want to do a promo where it's like it sounds like one of those old videos, like Little Timmy runs down, like all that type of stuff. But,
Bar to Darkness, number 4.
No, number 4, Treehouse of Horror 5.
Oh.
It's the Shining one, The Shinin.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be that one, right? What's the other gags in that one?
Burns TV list, Cottage. Oh, the staff is trying to eat the students.
Oh yeah, the Soylent Green parody.
Oh, and And the middle one, which is I think my favorite, even like since seeing The Shining one's awesome, but the middle one is when Homer keeps going back in time.
Right.
And
Okay.
he first of all he starts smashing all the
well, no, he goes, okay, Homer, you went back in time. Just remember what your dad said on the night of your on your wedding night. And it cuts to Abe, and he goes, if you ever go back in time, don't change anything. You could destroy the future or whatever. And then Homer's like, okay. And then he sees a giant like mosquito type bug, and he goes, stupid bug, you go squish now. and he hits it, and then he teleports back. But each time he comes back, something more terrible happens.
Yeah, it's a weird reality. And then he finally gets to this reality where they're rich and everything is perfect. And he's like, he wants to stay. And he's like, oh man, can I have a donut? And they say, what's a donut? And he screams and goes back. And as soon as he leaves, Marge looks outside and goes, oh, it's raining. And it's raining donuts. Yeah.
Well,
so it would have been Homer's like chosen reality.
No, the last bit on that, isn't it? He comes upstairs and everything is normal except they have like chameleon tongues to eat.
Oh yeah, and he said close enough. Yeah, or something like that.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really funny. I used the rebigulator joke the other day, which is not from that episode, but is still one of my favorite jokes of all time. Just a different Treehouse of Horror, but all right, then Rosebud, which is Mr. Burns and the teddy bear.
Man, they went deep for some of these. Well, no, number 3 is Cape Fear.
Oh, Cape Feary.
Yeah. So
see, because my list is different, so I keep messing up. Sorry.
That has Bake 'em Away toys.
Yeah. Well, and whenever I say Mr. Thompson and step on your foot, you say hello.
I think he's talking to you.
Yeah. That's
a great one. I think that's Jacob's favorite episode.
And then whenever Bart's trying to buy time and he's like, but you couldn't do the entire
the HMS Pinafore.
Yeah, and he goes, before I said, because Sideshow Bob is after Bart, and he's finally caught him, and they're on a houseboat, and he goes, before I send you to hell, I'll send you to heaven, or whatever. Yeah. And they do the whole thing, and Bart's even joining in, like he's playing different parts in the thing.
Yeah, and Sideshow Bob's like crying and holding a rose.
Yeah, he can't help but be dramatic.
Yeah. Number 2 is Rosebud, which is Mr. Burns's teddy bear named Bobo that he wants to get back. That episode's great. The interesting thing is they picked a lot in the top 10 that like weren't ones that I watched a million times when I was a kid. Like even the Treehouse of Horror, like I didn't really like the Treehouse of Horror as much when I was a kid.
It's gonna make you laugh, but like I thought the Treehouse of Horror was scary when I was a kid. Like the one where Bart has the killer Krusty doll. I hate when that one come on because I hate dolls. Anyway, I'm what is it? I'm suspicious of them. All dolls.
Dolls and Poseidon.
Yep. They know why they caught the beef. There's no question. So
number 1, Marge versus the Monorail. This is a lot of people's favorite episode. Incredibly funny episode written by Conan O'Brien. When Homer messes up the monorail song, it's absolutely classic.
I call the big one Bitey.
Don't is there a concern the track would bend? Not on your life, my Hindu friend. Mm-hmm. And what's his name? Leonard Nimoy at the end.
I'm surprised. The ones that I guess you could do. I mean, everybody's got their favorites, right? But I'm surprised the Fighting Hellfish isn't on here. That's like, I think that's considered like a pretty definitively classic episode.
Dude, like all of my classic ones are like 36 to like 11. Like King Size Homer.
Is that
when
on?
Homer gets?
Is that on here?
It's number 27.
Okay.
When Homer gets, he wants to get off of work, so he gets so fat that he could work from home, and he accidentally causes a meltdown, and then
he tries to call on the phone. Your fingers are too fat.
Yeah, the fingers you are using to dial are too fat.
Yeah.
To order a specialty dining wand, Mash the keypad now. Dialing wand.
I just want to see honk if you're horny in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mother Simpson number 28. Like all of my favorite episodes are the early ones on this list.
Well, there's ones that I like aren't on, like Homer. What's the boxing one where Homer fights Drederick Tatum? That's not on here.
Yeah. What is that one called?
The Homer. It is. I think the Homer They Fall.
The Homer They Fall.
No, it's not on here.
Yeah, it's not on here.
So
the hockey episode is also not on here.
Yeah, there's and again, it's
chasing Uter around, snapping him with a towel.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Please don't make me run. I'm filled with chocolate."
Like I'm not sure that Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1 and 2, even though it only takes one spot on the list, that one's not one that I'm like crazy about.
I don't go back to it very often, but it was a big deal. I think it warrants mention just because it really was like something that I can't say that like everybody, but the country cared about. Right. You know, people wanted to find out who shot Mr. Burns. They did a really good job of building that.
Well, and
I'm surprised that Homer's Enemy is not.
It's not. Well, that one's pretty divisive. There's a lot of people that say that's the end of the show. Like to them, that's where the show.
Dog, that's season 9.
Right.
I mean, that's season 8.
No, and I don't.
We got at least three more good seasons out of the show.
I don't think so, but I think that's where a lot of people feel like the show went awry. But the Who Shot Mr. Burns one, I put in the group chat that we're in the other day. So I was listening to a podcast about Twin Peaks, and in that they're talking about the first season of Twin Peaks, and all this stuff from The Simpsons started making sense. Where I was like,
really?
Oh shit, that's what they were like. Because I just watched it and I was like, well, that's weird. That's got to be something.
But that happened to me all the time as a kid.
Right, and I never looked into it. But you know, in Who Shot Mr. Burns, when Lisa has the dream, and everybody's talking backwards, and Chief Wiggum, like they're in this weird room.
Yeah,
and everyone, that's from Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole thing in Twin Peaks was who killed Laura Palmer. And it's like a murder mystery, and I always thought they were doing it from Dallas. The Who Shot JR.
I mean, that's why they conceived it, but they must have pulled from multiple things.
Yeah, and I was like, that okay now that because I was just like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense at all, and I guess Twin Peaks also doesn't make any sense. So I was very confused. But
you know what else isn't on here is Homer's Barbershop Quartet.
Oh yeah, that's really beloved. That's a good one.
I love that episode.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at this. This at all.
It's a pretty great list, and no matter like I said, if you and I made a list, we did it on a podcast that you can listen to. Like, not all of our stuff was the same because different things are funny, you know, or different things strike you. But like, this is pretty consensus episodes that Simpsons fans all love.
Things were going to get left out, and they did a pretty decent job. Like, I think the person who wrote this definitely actually watched The Simpsons and loved the show. This isn't like, you know, Rolling Stones greatest guitar player or greatest singer levels of anger, because they do that on purpose. But like, it's not bad at all. It makes me want to revisit like Rosebud and the Bleeding Gums Murphy episode. I want to rewatch Mr. Plow because I haven't seen it in a while, but that episode is just unbelievable. So like, I'm cool with it.
Homer versus Lisa in the Eighth Commandment.
The Eighth Amendment.
Oh, okay. See, this thing that I screenshot, it's all fucked up. What's the
whoever made the list?
What's the Eighth Amendment? I'm an idiot, so I don't know.
It is. It says commandment on this. Oh yeah, it is. It is because it's thou shalt not steal. Because it was Homer stealing cable.
Oh man, that is a deep ass cut. I don't. Right, they all come over to watch the Drederick Tatum fight.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Homer versus Prohibition isn't on here.
The Beer Baron.
Yeah, that's. I'll get you, Beer Baron.
No, you won't.
Whenever Mo has his speakeasy, and they're gonna get raided, so he flips the switch to turn it into a pet shop, and Barney doesn't get up, and he just goes through the whole.
He flips it back, and he's just fucking covered in grease from all the gears that are under him.
And everyone's just holding the beer behind their back while he's in there investigating. That, like, I'm surprised that one's not in there. Or when they're sitting on the couch and there's all the explosions in the basement and Homer keeps pretending that it's him farting. Like,
I got to figure out what episode it is that Homer's carrying a bunch of bowling balls in his hands, and somebody had used the light bulb in the basement for something, and I can't remember why. And Homer's whistling, and he flips the switch, and the light doesn't turn on, and he takes one step and just falls down the stairs with all the bowling balls in his hand.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that joke the other day, and I can't remember what episode it's from.
I was watching The Simpsons the other day. Actually, I figured out that, like, that's an easy show for me to watch if I'm walking on the treadmill. So
oh yeah,
I just started from the beginning, and I've watched 3 episodes of season 1. I watched Simpsons roasting over an open fire where they get Santa's Little Helper.
Santa's Little Helper, yeah.
Bart the Genius, where Bart cheats on the IQ test and goes to the special smart kid school.
Mm-hmm.
And then Homer's Odyssey, I think is what it's called, where Homer gets fired from the power plant and then he becomes like a safety guy, but he's going to kill himself, and he's got this rock that he's walking with, and he's left a note. And then while he's walking across the street, a car comes flying at him through this intersection, and he's like, "Hey, watch where you're going," because he's trying to get to the bridge so he can kill himself. And then the kids and Marge have found his note, so they come running, and they almost get hit by a car. And he's like, "Man, somebody ought to really do something about this intersection." So he goes to the city council and gets them to put a stop sign there. And he's like, "This is my this is my calling." And so he's just getting signs everywhere for different things. So there's like
is that the 3rd episode of the series?
That's the 3rd episode of the whole thing.
Man, I haven't seen that, because I've seen it, but I haven't seen that one in a long time.
But then what ends up happening is Mr. Burns hires him back to be the safety inspector. But Homer, he's like, "You have to go out there and tell everybody that the plant is safe." And he's like, "I won't do it." And then Mr. Burns is like, "So you're going to give up a job and money for your ideals or whatever?" And then he's like, and he like goes out there and tells everybody that he's going to be the new safety inspector.
I gotta watch that one. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen much from season 1 in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen those ones in a long time. And like, there's still good, like, there's crisp jokes from the start, you know.
Oh yeah, they were because they did a decent amount on Tracy Ullman, and apparently Tracy Ullman hated the show, and so they were glad to like be out from under that. So like, but they were, I mean, that first writers group was maybe one of the best, you know. So it was pre-Schwartzwelder, but it was I think, right? I think he came on like season 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
But let's I got 2 things I want to hit on.
Okay.
We talked about American Idiot. You said you think you've figured out the story.
Yes, I believe so.
I did some research. So let me pull up the track list, because it goes track by track.
Right.
So do you want to go first, or do you want me to tell you what I found?
Okay, so I'll take a stab at what I think the story is.
Okay.
Right.
So just so everybody knows, if you're uninitiated, Green Day is an American punk band. Green Day made an album in 2004 called Cigarettes and Valentines. The masters for that album were stolen, and this was the follow-up to Warning, which was a really well reviewed and great album that didn't do well commercially. So they were kind of falling apart as a band. They were even thinking about breaking up at one point. They make Cigarettes and Valentines. It gets stolen. And instead of re-recording all those tracks, they made the ambitious decision to completely rewrite a new album in a new direction and make one of the greatest albums ever made. And it is a pop punk rock opera that goes through a story, which is American Idiot. So.
Yeah, so Well, and their producer Rob Carvalho, I think is this guy's name.
Yeah, Carvalho.
Carvalho had basically asked them, like, do you think that album that got stolen is the best work that you can put out? And they were like, I guess not. And he's like, why would you put out something that wasn't your best work? So I think American Idiot is just an overview of the world. So it's like it's like the world building song where it gives you the parameters of what this world is that exists, right? Because it's not about a character. So then in the second song, Jesus of Suburbia, he's the main character of the rock opera. And so you go through like his life, who he is. He's got a stepdad, he's like disillusioned. He wants more than what the world is offering him. He doesn't want to be an American Idiot, right? I think Holiday is he gets drafted or he enlists and he has to go to war. And that further disillusions him, which is why Boulevard of Broken Dreams exists as a song. And Are We the Waiting, I think, is also him trying to figure out where he fits in the world. St. Jimmy, he meets this sort of anarchic punk rock dude who's got all these crazy ideas. Give Me Novocaine. I don't know what that song would be about in the structure of the rock opera that I'm writing. But then She's a Rebel, he meets a girl who is the opposite of Saint Jimmy. And so now he's kind of being pulled in two directions. Because I think Saint Jimmy is sort of a nihilist, and that appeals because nihilism at a certain point always appeals. But I think she cares. She's a rebel, is like, stuff matters to her. So then Extraordinary Girl is also about her and about the furthering of their relationship. Letter Bomb, You Got Me. I don't remember what the lyrics are to that song.
Letter Bomb's tough for me as well, but I got some advice on that one.
Okay, Wake Me Up When September Ends. Clearly some tragedy has occurred in his life. I'm not sure who it is in relation to at that particular point. But then Homecoming is the other big epic song that has chapter 1. It's called The Death of St. Jimmy. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that St. Jimmy dies.
Okay.
And then now he's back to where he doesn't know what's going on, but or he's trying to fight these demons within himself because Nobody Likes You is I think self-doubt. Rock and Roll Girlfriend could be about what's her name, or it could be about some other girl that he's found. Mm-hmm. And then the last song is he's reflecting on this life, and clearly he made some choice at some point where him and what's her name are apart, and now he can't even remember her. So I think he's probably going the St. Jimmy route. Unfortunately, that would be my brief overview of what I think the thing is about.
That's pretty good. I never made like a real good faith effort to interpret the album myself. There are certain things that I knew and I picked up on myself on my own, but I just went straight to the internet.
Well, it's also important to say, like, the narrative for the album is there whenever it's convenient for the song, and then it's not there when it's not convenient for the song, which is not, that's sort of a knock on all rock operas, where it's like, oh, it's about something, but then if you need a song that doesn't fit narratively, you just write a song if you think it's going to be good, you know?
Yeah. So I went to multiple sources on the internet. I went to a website called greenday.fm that is, I think it's a fan made website. And then I went to, I listened to a YouTube video of people, like somebody explaining it, and they both had the same exact breakdown. So I'm guessing either the YouTube guy went to greenday.fm or they this is the accepted story of the album. And when I hear it, it makes sense. So American Idiot, spot on. It's more, American Idiot is about kind of the frustration of being an American in this world of media, and the alienation all across the alienation, like the alienation that the youth feel. Then you meet the character Jesus of Suburbia in Jesus of Suburbia, and that song is about the big thing about, like, the biggest line in that song sets up the rest of the album. I'm the son of rage and love, the Jesus of Suburbia. So the Jesus of Suburbia is a dichotomy of rage and love, and he is in this whole he lives in this world that is falling apart, that people are ruining, and also in the land of make believe, they don't believe in me. So it's like we're making all this shit up, and we're building all these things as if they matter and all this stuff, but you still don't believe in me.
Right.
And like, why would I care about the world if the world doesn't care about me?
Or you don't see a reflection of yourself in the, I can see that as you don't see a reflection of yourself in the media that is being put out, right? In the land of make believe, they don't believe in me, is like, they won't show what's happening to people like me because that's not a thing that people want to consume.
Especially because Jesus of Suburbia is from a small town.
Right.
He's from a small town. That's why he talks about like the hanging out at the 7-Eleven and like learning from people and all that stuff. It's like he's from a small town. He doesn't feel connected to a small town. People can stay there if they want, but he's going to get the fuck out of there.
Right.
And so Holiday is more of it's about the destruction of the world. It's about war bringing on this Armageddon because of all these outside sources and opinions and motivations, right? So right. And somebody pointed out,
and that you can watch on TV if you're sort of following that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's part of the entertainment, you know what I mean? And there's somebody made a connection. I don't know if this is what Billy Joe intended, but somebody made a connection between hear the sound of the fallen rain coming down like an Armageddon train, I think.
Or maybe.
What is it?
I think it's flame, but it could be train.
Oh, it could be. It is flame. It is flame. And the rain in Wake Me Up When September Ends, here comes the rain again, falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again, becoming who we are. So like this whole thing, the whole album is the evolution of Jesus of Suburbia. So Holiday happens, then he leaves his small town. He goes to the city. Mm-hmm. And when he goes to the city, he realizes that he's still alone, right. And he might be more alone than he was before. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Like he leaves and he gets there and he's still there. And then One
would say that he walks a lonely road.
Yeah, it's the only one he's ever known.
Yeah.
But so Are We the Waiting is always the one that I don't really fully understand. But basically what they said was like, it's kind of Jesus of Suburbia breaking down. It's like, if I'm nobody there and I'm nobody here, right. What am I? And that's why, like, I think he says the Jesus of Suburbia is a lie at one point in that song.
Right. Oh, so then ego death. Did the Jesus of Suburbia take mushrooms?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so Saint Jimmy is the Jesus of Suburbia creating a new persona for himself. I can't be the Jesus of Suburbia in the small town. I can't be the Jesus of Suburbia in the big city. So I have to become this. It's only his rage.
Okay.
He separates the love from the rage, and he becomes Saint Jimmy. He's Saint Jimmy.
Ah, okay.
So he separates the love from the rage, and he's only the rage. And he's this nihilist, crazy motherfucker that right. like is trying to portray this strength after being so vulnerable, because it's kind of a, if you're not going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you situation, right. Where it's like, I'm going to be the aggressor. So
Give Me Novocaine is he wants to be numb so that he can be Saint Jimmy, so that he doesn't have to feel the distress of his existence.
And he starts to realize that Saint Jimmy and all these, because it's literally, Give Me Novocaine is literally about drugs, but it's like, he's realizing that he's numbing himself with these drugs so he doesn't have to face who he is, and the fact that he has created a complete fake persona to try to fit in this city, and that he doesn't fully identify with it. Okay. And then She's a Rebel is when he meets what's her name, yeah. And She's a Rebel this is the girl that Saint Jimmy would date.
Right.
She's a rebel. She's a saint. She's a salt of the earth, and she's dangerous. And like,
right.
So it's all of this missing link on the brink of destruction. So it's like it's the other half of Saint Jimmy, and he starts to, and so he's he found somebody who he's completely infatuated with, but he's infatuated with what she represents rather than having a real personal connection with her.
Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
She could be exactly. Yeah. And then Extraordinary Girl is they're starting to realize that so what's her name is really sad and really manic because she is really what she portrays herself to be, and Saint Jimmy is a fake version of Jesus of Suburbia. So they're starting to get a little bit of they're out of the honeymoon phase and they're starting to try to build a relationship, but they realize that they're kind of not compatible because he's not truly what he pretends to be, basically. Right. And then if I remember correctly, Letter Bomb is when he realizes I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, this is done. What's her name's not going to work out. The city's not for me. What am I going to do now? And it's like somebody talked about the Where Have All the Bastards Gone in the riots. It's like almost like like Jesus of Suburbia is realizing that nobody cares. Like no, like all these people, like they have all this fire inside of them, but they're not doing it for anything important, right. Basically. And then Wake Me Up When September Ends, a lot of people think is not part of the actual story of the album. It's just Jimmy wrote a song. Yeah, Jimmy wrote a song about his dad, because Jimmy did write this song about his dad. But if you think about it, it's right before Homecoming.
Yeah.
So. And the way that I interpret it is he starts to think about what really matters. He starts to think about home. He starts to think about his life and the tragedies of loss and and everything that he's faced. And it's starting to bring Jesus of Suburbia back. It's that love. It's the vulnerability that he was shunning by being Saint Jimmy.
Right. Well,
and then
what is it? Summer has come to pass. The innocent will never last.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and a lot of that, and I'm completely discounting, which there are the entire album has overtones about the Iraq War and like stuff like that, so that could be interpreted as that as well. So like I'm just talking about the actual, like, the narrative of the story rather than the political narrative that is also there. So Wake Me Up When September happens, and then Homecoming comes, and Act 1, the death of Saint Jimmy. He's done. Jimmy died today. He blew his brains out into the bay. And then East 12th Street is kind of it's almost like an Under the Bridgey type narrative, where it's like that's a place that something happened to him that he really sticks to. Nobody Likes You is supposed, apparently, the whole nobody likes you, everyone left you. That is either what's her name, like when she's finally fucking done with this guy.
Oh, taunting him or...
Yeah, taunting him. And then Rock and Roll Girlfriend apparently is it's one of Jesus of Suburbia's friends who went out and lived the rock star life, but he was actually about the rock star life.
Okay.
So like that guy just kind of stumbles in.
Yeah. That would make sense too, since Mike Dirnt sings Nobody Likes You and Tré Cool sings Rock and Roll Girlfriend, that those songs aren't from the perspective of the Jesus of Suburbia.
Exactly. And then We're Coming Home Again is I'm done. Like, this is it. I realized that the emptiness that I felt home was not because of home, it was because of me. Right. It was, he realizes that he was chasing something and trying to fill holes inside himself that only he can fill.
Yeah.
So he goes back, and then for What's Her Name, you realize that this is a narrative that is being spoken far in the future, or not being spoken. Like this song is recalling what happened back in the day, which is this whole story. He burned all the photographs. He doesn't even remember her name. He remembers what she looks like, but he still thinks about her because of the transformative time that he had with her. What's Her Name was such a I'd say transformative, again, it's redundant, but that time was so transformative for him, and she was such a big part of his life that thinking back to those times, he remembers them. He's going to remember the times, but he's not going to remember her.
Well, I mean, that's a very relatable. You couldn't get where you are if you hadn't gone through the thing that you had gone through, right?
Yeah.
Even if the thing you've gone through was really shitty and you don't want to, like, sometimes when there's a bad thing and you recollect on it and you're like, well, maybe that did get me to this point where I am now, but I'd rather not recollect on that thing or have rather not had that thing happen at all, you know?
Yeah, and plus, like, what's her name didn't end up being a great person. You know what I mean? And it's like she was what he was trying to be, and he didn't like what he was trying to be. So, like, even though she's an important part of his life, she's not something specifically that he remembers fondly. He just kind of appreciates it, and even just the concert that we went to, and the time since then, I've really grown to appreciate "What's Her Name" as a song, the ending song to the album. So. Yeah. That's American Idiot. And I mean, they made the stage play, so I'm sure a lot of this comes from the play.
I was gonna say, yeah, I feel like, but the only thing that is slightly doesn't ring to me is the Saint Jimmy and Jesus of Suburbia are the same person. But you did all the research, so I
no, that's unanimous, and I think even Billy Joe has acknowledged it.
That's like a Fight Club situation.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah. It's exact. So like. And I think it comes from the fact that Billy Joe has said before that he has split personality disorder. And if you listen to 21st Century Breakdown, their next album is about two characters, Gloria and Christian. And apparently, both Gloria and Christian are different versions of Billy Joe Armstrong. So he really likes to play within that duality type thing. So like, Saint Jimmy is Jesus of Suburbia. He's just a different version of Jesus of Suburbia.
Well, that might crack it for me, because for years I was like, I don't know, because like when you break it down like that, and clearly you need notes or you need a stage play or you need whatever, like,
yeah,
I was just sort of like, yeah, there's like a loose story here, but there's not a real like narrative structure through this thing. But
you got to
like,
fill in some holes. You definitely got to fill in some holes. But you did a heck of a job. You did better than I ever did.
Well, I've also been thinking about it, but I took a big swing on a couple of, because like Holiday never vibed with the narrative, necessarily, and so I thought like, oh, what if he had to go to war, and that was his way out of the shitty town he was in? But like, that's also, he was trying to become this person, but that person isn't a person that he wants to be either. And now he thought he was going on a holiday, you know, or they treat it as a holiday, but really it's this horrific thing that happened, you know?
Yeah. And I that's a totally like understandable explanation for it. It's just like, it's more about the disillusionment with all these people whose priorities are fucked and it's ruining the world. And like, that's the political overtone of the album that also intertwines with, a lot of it's about the battles that are being fought outside of our lives and the big, terrible things that are happening outside of our lives, while the youth fight these terrible battles within themselves. And they're feeding each other. Like the horrible things that happen in the world make your disillusionment worse and make your disconnection worse. And you don't realize that the outside world isn't going to fix those things in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, speaking as a person I was in college when the Iraq war started. Like, I know we had stuff, they broadcast the Iraq war. That was like a big deal thing, because there wasn't like back in the day, you know, minute by minute breakdowns of actual battles happening.
Yeah.
But like, the big thing with the Iraq war was like, they kind of announced like, hey, we're gonna do carpet bombing starting on this day, and it was you could immediately watch it. Like
45 minutes after the deadline, the bomb started dropping. I think that's at the beginning of one of is it a Green Day video or something? But I heard that yesterday. I was listening to something because I did a lot of research to try to break this down.
But it was like, you couldn't watch live war before, and then now you could.
You could a little bit with Vietnam, they were doing, but it was like, because there would be the war on TV all the time, but we didn't have the 24-hour news cycle.
I guess that's
so like,
true.
Yeah.
But it's not, you couldn't tune in at like 2 a.m. on CNN and see them bombing another country. Like, and I think that's also a different, like, that definitely had an effect on me and how I like saw the war. You know, it's a different thing. So that's the right moment for that to come out to sort of reflect that general feeling. And that's probably a thing that helped the album be the giant mammoth that it was, as well as having ridiculous catchy songs.
Yeah, they were one of the first. The Chicks came out and got in trouble.
Yeah.
And then the Green Day came out with something that was like a big bang, and they were very open about what this album, like, that their anger about that. So like it was a risk, but it paid off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's American Idiot. Do you want to? I want to end this because we're doing a bit of a brief episode today. I want to end this with non-expert trivia for Dusty.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Dusty, we're doing space.
God damn it.
Yep, I know.
Well,
you hit me with the Batman or Shakespeare.
Yeah,
we're doing space.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the first hurdle would be me having to believe that space is out there, but that's fine, you know.
Yeah, just let's forget about the firmament just for one day. Okay.
Well, you could try to forget about it. Everyone's always trying to forget about it.
I found a space quiz for kids.
Okay.
Some of these are a little hard, so like I'm gonna give you the easier questions, I think.
No,
but we're gonna
just shoot them at me,
because there's questions on here that even I would get wrong, and I'm a genius.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start with something simple.
Okay.
That's not on this quiz.
All right.
Do you know the order of the planets in terms of proximity from the sun?
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this. No, I don't even know if I should say it. I asked Mary to do this right before we got on, and she guessed that there was a planet called Nopal. So
okay.
She's very smart.
Yeah. That's
very smart.
That's not a.
She gave it a shot.
That's not damning. I'm gonna have problems. I mean, I'm gonna have problems anyway. I could name them all. I think the order's gonna be tough. So let's see. Mercury.
Closest to the sun.
Mercury.
Mercury is correct. Closest to the sun.
Okay. Yes. Number 2. Closest to the sun. I'm going with Neptune.
No.
Damn it.
So Neptune is a gas giant, so it's going to be one of the further ones.
Right. Yeah. Venus.
Venus is the second closest to the sun.
Earth.
Earth is number 3.
Number 3.
No.
Mars. M-A-R-S.
Mars, bitches.
Mars, Red Rocks.
Yeah.
The other day I quoted Cradle of fucking Civilization. And that dude is so funny.
He's great. He's great.
Saturn in the 5 spot.
You skipped one.
Okay. Okay. It's not Neptune. So I know those are that way.
Yeah.
It's not.
You just got to do this real quick.
Is it Uranus?
Just spread. No, that would be funny if that
I thought that's
Uranus.
what you're going for.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I can give you a hint if you want the hint.
Okay.
It is a certified big fucker.
Is it Jupiter?
It is Jupiter.
Okay. So
Jupiter is the right on the other side of Mars.
Okay, number 5.
Pretty far, but it's,
they're next door. Need a cup of sugar, pop on over to Jupiter. All right, so now I'm number 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Saturn.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Perry Saturn, number 6.
Yep.
Let me see them rings. Number 7, Uranus.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Number 8, that's got to be Neptune.
That's Neptune, dog.
That's gotta be Neptune.
That's gotta be. Oh my God! By God, that's gotta be Neptune.
He came to the Hell in a Cell. And number 9, never forget about him, Pluto.
Not a planet anymore, but we still give it some love.
I don't feel too bad about that. I feel okay about that.
You did pretty well.
You know the mnemonic device? I was trying to think of that.
People have different ones, but I use My Very Elegant Mother just served us 9 pizzas.
Yes. All right. My Very Elegant Mother just served us 9 pizzas. Yeah. I would have never guessed that. But all right.
Yeah, but not bad. Yeah, just remember rocky planets closer, gas giants further, right. You got to know which ones are the gas giants for that to even help you.
Yeah, well, I knew Jupiter was giant and a gas giant.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah.
It's fucking really big.
It's got like
really big.
It's got hella moons.
Also, it like constantly catches things like asteroids and shit that are coming towards Earth and just flings them at the sun. Nice guy, Jupiter.
He's just helping out wherever he can. Yeah.
All right, so not bad.
Okay.
Not bad. Let me bring up a WordPad so we can do a score. I'm not going to give you a score on the first one. That was a primer. Okay. You know what I mean? So number 1.
Okay.
These are multiple choice.
Okay.
What is meant by 1 light year? Is it A, the distance light travels in 1 year? The distance light travels in 1 day? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. These are bad multiple choice.
Uh-huh.
Or C, the distance that that light travels in 1 minute.
Well, unless this is really trying to trick me, I believe that it is the distance light travels in 1 year.
I should have read those. I wouldn't have even given you the multiple choice. Would you have known that it was the distance that light travels in 1 year?
I don't know, because I always thought horsepower meant 1 horse. But that's not what horsepower is.
It certainly does not mean one horse.
That's really stupid, though. Why is 1 horsepower equivalent to like 12 horses?
Because people are crazy, dude. God is great. Beer is good. People are crazy. Yeah. I wonder if you would have gotten that one, but we're gonna give it to you.
I'm glad that
I was excited for that one too. I just never listened to the fucking. God damn it.
I'm glad you gave me the multiple choice because I would feel like an idiot if I.
Did you ever have teachers that gave really bad that picked really bad answers for multiple choice, and you're like, come on, man, at least make me work for it a little bit.
Sometimes we're like the very first question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire all the time.
There's always like joke answers.
Yeah.
So this one I wouldn't have known off the top of my head. I would have needed multiple choice for. So I'm going to give you multiple choice for this one.
Okay.
What is the outer layer of the atmosphere? The thermosphere, A. B, the mesosphere. C, the exosphere.
I'm going to say the exosphere.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you are.
USA.
Ding, fucking ding, Dusty.
But again, it's not real. I'm just, if you were to believe quote unquote books, then that would be my answer.
Okay, so this one I think is going to be a tough one, but we'll see. Okay. It's relatively simple, but it might be a guess on your part.
Okay.
How many minutes does the sunlight take to come to Earth? A, just over 8 minutes, B, just over 4 minutes, or C, just over 9 minutes.
And in this, I'm supposed to assume the Earth is round.
Yeah, it's a round Earth. The sun actually exists. It is truly 93 million miles away and not just right outside the firmament.
Well, I guess if we're doing fiction.
If you're just going to believe the fucking narrative.
I do know this, I think. I think it takes 8 minutes.
Just over 8 minutes, A. Dusty nailed it.
I bet I know that because of a movie. I bet, like,
probably.
It sounded right, and I was like, I think I've heard that before, but it's probably
Interstellar.
Yeah,
Interstellar. The nearest star to Earth after the sun. You're like, God damn it!
I had it in my back pocket. I was ready.
Is A, Proxima Centauri.
Okay.
B, Barnard's star. Or C, Gliese 581.
That Gliese 581. What's the first one?
Proxima Centauri.
I'm gonna go with Proxima Centauri.
God damn it, Dusty! You're a fucking space whiz. I didn't know you were a space whiz, Dusty.
Then what you? I don't know what you heard about me. But I know.
You're doing much better at this than I did at fucking Batman or Shakespeare, but I did get over 50%.
That's true.
I'm trying to only do questions that I would know the answer to, just so I'm not giving you any like horse shit. Like, how far is Proxima Centauri from Earth? I don't know.
Right. Far.
Oh, yeah. How about this one?
Okay.
Who was the first person in space? Was it A, Neil Armstrong? B, Yuri Gagarin, or C, Kalpana Chawla?
I believe
How about that one, Dusty?
I believe the first person in space was Yuri.
God damn it, Dusty, you're fucking killing it. Yeah, he's a Russian guy.
Yeah.
He's a
Well, I
guy,
knew the
became a
Russian.
big celebrity.
I knew the Russians got to the outside of space first. But you know who made it to the moon?
Goddamn USA, bro. Because not because it is easy,
No.
but because it is hard.
We plan to go to the moon in this decade.
And do the other thing.
And do the other thing.
The first man landed on the moon in A, 1959, B, 1969, or C, 1961, the year that Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle had their famed home run battle.
Yep.
I don't know why they wrote that on there. But they did.
They just want to give you more context.
So we're talking 59, 69, or 61, first man on the moon.
I also know this, probably because of movies.
Dusty.
It's 1969.
Certainly is 19.
Why could they knew most hilarious year for us to land on the moon?
Yeah.
So
I'd say pretty nice year.
Yeah, they could have. I think that's what the Bryan Adams song is about, actually. Bryan Adams.
I don't know. Who cares? Okay, how about this one?
How do you like
fucking
this?
asshole?
Yeah.
Which is the spacecraft that NASA launched in 2006 to study Pluto? A, Voyager, B, New Horizons, or C, Messenger?
Pretty bland names.
Yeah.
Didn't really give me anything on that.
A, Voyager.
Right.
B, New Horizons. Or C, Messenger.
All right. This is a guess. I do not know this. I'm going to go with New Horizons.
You fucking bitch, dude. You're a fucking bitch. As soon as I heard I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yeah. Just felt right. Felt right in the soul.
How about this?
How about you try this shit on for size?
Okay, how about this? You fucking... You'll probably get this one right, too. Which was the first living creature to be sent to space? A, a dog. B, Yuri Gagarin. Or C, a monkey.
Okay, so here's the thing. Yep. It's either a monkey or a dog. And I believe that the Russians, in their callousness, sent a good boy to space.
I already wrote the Y down.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a dog. I think that motherfucker died.
He was such a good boy, too. I don't even care if he was or not. I don't care if he bit 50 people. That's a good boy. He went to space.
Let's see if they have the right answer for this
one. You're taking on the quiz now?
I'm quizzing the quiz.
Who watches The Watchmen? Let me ask you that.
I'll give you another one. Which planet is the smallest in our solar system? Is it A, Pluto? Is it B, Venus? Or is it C, Mercury?
Oh, see, now they're trying to trick the old dust man. Because, well, you tell me. Well, I guess you can't tell me.
Okay. Which planet is the smallest in our solar system?
Well,
A, Pluto, B, Venus, C, Mercury.
You sack of shit. It's Venus.
You finally got one wrong, the piece of shit. No, it's Mercury, you bitch. Yeah, remember, Venus, gas giant. Probably not the smallest.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Oh, wait, Venus isn't a gas giant.
No,
Venus is the second
closest. You dumb idiot. How about that?
Shut the fuck up,
You like space.
Shut up, dude. How
about shut up, dude?
How about you fucking shut your mouth? You stupid mouth. When did Yuri Gagarin travel to space? You piece of shit. A, 1961. B, 1949. Or C, 1951.
1961.
Man, you're fucking good at this. You're fucking good at this. Are you sure you didn't go to college for this?
I did not go to college for space.
You Googled fucking kids quiz and just happened to find the right one, you piece of shit.
I once asked my astronomy teacher if we could ever go to the sun. And she was like, no. And I was like, but didn't they also say that about the moon at one point? So she did not enjoy that as my answer.
And you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, I wanted to learn about black holes and like rogue space shit, and then I figured out I'd do all this math, and I was not equipped for astronomy class. So maybe that's why I hate space.
I'm taking a quick kids quiz to find one that might stump you. How about this? You fucking Bible thumping piece of shit. Let's see if you get this right. How old is the Earth? Is it about 3 million years old? Is it about 2,000 years old?
Well,
Dusty.
It's only been,
or is it about 4 billion years old?
It's only been cool for about 2,000 years.
Ever since the J-Man.
Let me tell you a little story.
Yeah,
it's possibly the
greatest story. Yeah. Have you ever heard? Maybe you've heard the greatest story ever told.
Possibly the greatest story ever told. Me and a few friends, Derek, Margot, and my no bad friend Moki.
How old is the Earth?
6 billion years old.
About 3 million years old. About 2,000 years old.
6 billion.
Or about 4 billion.
4 billion years old.
There you go.
Yeah. It's old as shit.
I'm going to give you that one.
Okay.
What is our sun?
Oh no.
Is it a galaxy, a star, a giant planet, or the light bulb that quote unquote they put up there? I added that last one.
Well, I'm leaning towards D, I have to tell you. I know this because a friend who I love did not know that the sun was a star. We made fun of her for a long time because of that. The sun is a star.
Sun is a star.
Yeah.
Just a lot of these are just horse shit. I can't find a good one.
It's a shining star.
You got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you got 9 out of 10 before I switched them. You got 2 after that. So you got 11 out of 12 for a big shining fat fucking A.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give you a harder one next time.
That's fine. You
did a good job, good deductive reasoning on a lot of these.
Yeah, or it's just like because some of it was like, well, if we landed on the moon in 1969, they probably sent that dude up in 1961.
Yeah, you're like, well, New Horizons sounds like it would make sense for that over Messenger.
Well, and Voyager is like Star Trek shit, so I feel like they try not to do that.
Dog, Voyager is a NASA fucking thing that I got tattooed on my shoulder, dog.
Well, it's also
sent it up in the 70s, 1976, I believe.
Oh, see, that was
the solar system. It took the pale blue dot picture. It's pretty big, dude.
Well, that's I know about Star Trek Voyager, but that was after the NASA Voyager went up. Like they would never call
they wouldn't
something Deep Space Nine or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I hate how much your knowledge of movies helped you in this.
Yep. I'm surprised they didn't put. I mean, I guess. Well, it's a quiz for kids, so I'm surprised they didn't put like a Star Wars question or something in there. The Millennium Falcon.
That's not space, dog.
Where's the Millennium Falcon live, dude?
How big is Tatooine? I don't fucking know. It's fake, dude.
How far away? Well, speaking of fake, I got some YouTube videos to send you. Might flip your whole worldview, my man.
Yuri Gagarin was just a tool of them.
He's a tool of the deep state, dude. Open up that third eye.
You want to do some Daily Dozen? Get out of here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. The Daily Dozen is a Barstool trivia game. The first 3 questions are about sports, and the rest are about general American culture. We'll go NFL first. A 3rd-round pick out of Iowa. This offensive lineman spent his entire career with the Ravens from 2007 to 2019, making 8 Pro Bowls, and was part of the 2010s All-Decade team. Who can name an offensive lineman that isn't Jason Kelce?
Yuri Gagarin.
Let's check out Yuri Gagarin. John Yurchie. That's what's coming up. Yep. That's what I'm clicking. Wrong. NBA. After his tenure in Dallas, Michael Finley played for this Western Conference team from 2005 to 2010. No idea.
The Denver Nuggets.
Denver, yeah. Wrong.
All right.
MLB. During the 2022 AL Wildcard Series, oh no, it's recent. Oscar Gonzalez hit a series-clinching walk-off home run in the 15th inning as the Guardians defeated this AL East team.
Okay.
Oh, buddy, this better not be the Yankees.
So what would that be? The Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Orioles,
the Blue Jays,
the Rays? The Rays are in the AL East, right?
Yes.
Is that it?
I'm thinking it's either Yankees, Red Sox, or Orioles. If it's Yankees, I literally should jump into traffic right now. But I don't feel like the Yankees lost to a fucking walk-off unless I'm suppressing that memory. I think like
you got to go get an audit.
Going Orioles.
All right.
I'm going Baltimore Orioles.
You got to get an audit machine from a Scientologist to bring that memory back.
I was wrong. Fuck. Brands and products. After founding Napster, Sean Parker became the first president of this company / website in 2004. Dusty.
Was he the president of... I know.
Let's just do Spotify. How about Spotify? Why don't you fucking jump from,
Yeah, well, I know he helped with Facebook. Was he the president of Facebook?
Let's do it. Nailed it. Hell yeah, dude, we got one.
Okay.
Attaboy.
I have no idea.
Celebrity mashup. That is on the outside. Okay, I think
that's a ventriloquist doll that's gone awry.
On the outside, that is the guy from Star Wars,
that's
Driver.
Adam Driver. And that looks like Aubrey Plaza to me.
Ooh. See, I had Maya Hawke, but we'll go Aubrey Plaza. I think you might be correct.
That's Plaza, dude.
Is this going to be the first time that you participate?
I help?
Look at you.
Ah!
You contributed to a mashup.
Look at
I got that one wrong.
I don't have face blindness for Aubrey Plaza.
Serial, you really struggled with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah. That stroke's coming back around.
General Mills launched the Cinnamon Toast Crunch variant in 1996 and brought it back to much fanfare in 2014, 18 years after its release.
I don't need cereal,
a variant
dude.
of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? There was like Rainbow Toast Crunch, wasn't there?
I guess. No. I don't know.
It probably is now. You know what I mean?
The liberal agenda coming for our fridge for...
I'm going to guess. What?
Is there French toast?
French Toast Crunch.
French Toast Crunch?
Fresh Toast. Look at you, bro! Look at fucking you, dude!
I don't eat cereal. Right. And yet...
I don't either.
Yeah. It's bad for you. Very bad for you.
Loosely inspired by Chef Eddie Huang's life, this ABC sitcom from 2015 to 2020 followed a Taiwanese-American family after relocating from D.C. to Orlando in the 1990s. Is this fresh off the boat, or am I racist?
I was going to say, don't come at me. They named it this. I think it's fresh off the boat.
Why does it? Okay. Nailed it. All right.
There's also a seafood place in the town where I live called FOB.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm like...
it's probably good.
Yeah.
An homage to a classic horror monster movie, this Tim Burton stop-motion animation sci-fi comedy received a 2013 Best Animated Feature Oscar nom.
I believe that this is Frankenweenie. Dead dog, you see. Spooky dog.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Look at us. We're going to clean sweep the non... We got music left.
Yeah.
I'm doing a victory lap already. We're going to get this one right. It's going to be about Blind Melon or something.
Let us hope.
Cobra Starship's 2009 hit song Good Girls Do Bad featured this singer, who is more commonly known for her acting role as Blair Waldorf on Gossip Girl.
Uh-oh.
Emma Roberts?
Maybe. The only person I know from Gossip Girl is Blake Lively, I think. That might not even be the show she's on. She might be on Big Little Lies.
Emma Thompson?
No, Emma Thompson is a British lady.
I don't know who these people are. Yeah. We'll go Blake Lively.
Sure. I don't think it's her.
God damn it. I'm double dipping Emma Roberts, and I don't even know why.
All right. You don't want to go for the baseball one?
Oh. I'm not picking Yankees, Red Sox.
All right.
No! Fuck, please don't be the Yankees, man. Please. It's the Rays. Thank God it's the Rays.
It wasn't
Holy shit.
It wasn't the Blue Jays either, but I don't follow as big as you do.
I was like, I'm sure the Yankees didn't lose to a 15th inning walk-off. I'd still be crying about that. Music, Leighton Meester.
Sure.
The Meesta lady.
Good for her.
You know that Meesta lady? I think I just killed her. All right, I got to go.
All right. That's it. Thank you, everybody who listens. We love you. We appreciate you. Do the stuff that we asked you to do at the beginning, liking and following. We'll be back next week with who knows? Who knows what we come up with next week?
Rest in peace to Yuri Gagarin, a true hero. But you got second, bitch.
And that dog. R.I.P. that
we
dog.
on that moon.
Yeah.
We on that moon, son.
That's
our flag's up there.
That's our moon. If you believe
there ain't no
it.
Rooskies on the moon, dog.